Yes, students, I am welcoming you in the name of God, and thank God for He made me to see you again. Okay, right. In this particular session, I'm going to talk about some connection between the edge covering and the edge independent set. Okay, so edge independent number, we know that alpha dash, and the edge covering number, we know beta dash. So there is a connection between these and the total number of vertex in a graph, and that theorem, that's what we are going to see today. So before that, I want to give you some introduction about the edge number and the edge independent number and the edge covering number. Those are very, very important before starting the topic. Okay, so let me start the topic now. Right, now let us have that. Probably it comes at last page. Yes, here what we have, the wonderful slide which gives you some idea about the matching. Okay, matching, we say that it's independent or matching, we say. Now look at this, the top, you have the picture there, A, B, C, D, E, F. Am I correct? This is a graph. Yes, it's a graph because it consists of vertices and joined by the edges. Right. Now, at the left hand side top, you see that A, D, F are independent vertices. Okay, independent vertices. That set is a subset of the vertex set. That is what we are not going to see now. What we are going to see is that next to that particular set, AC, EF, what are they from the picture? Can you tell me that from the picture, what are they? AC and EF. What is the connection? They are independent edges. Okay? Independent edges means there is no common vertices connecting any two edges. I mean, if the edges are not adjacent to one another, then we say that they are independent edges. Independent edges. So AC and EF are independent edges. This is a subset of the edge set of a given graph, given that you are seeing on the screen. This I am writing as mu1. So mu1 is the edge subset of the vertices set G, E of G. Okay, it consists of only two edges. They are independent of one another. Okay, right. Now look at the right hand side at the top corner, mu3. Look at that. DE and AC. See the picture. DE and AC. DE and AC. They are independent. Am I correct? Because they are not adjacent. If they are adjacent, there must be a vertex common to both the edges. But it is not the case there. Therefore, D and AC are again a independent edge set. This independent edge set, we call it as matching. So matching is nothing but a collection of the independent edges of one and the other, which is a subset of the given edge set of the given graph, and that's what we have to understand. Okay, now look at this mu2. What do you see in mu2? You are seeing that AZ, see the picture, EF, see the picture, BD, see the picture there. So this is again a collection of independent edges which are independent to one another. Okay, that is, they are not adjacent to one another. One more speciality in this mu2 is that this is the maximum number of independent edges set. Independent edges set, which is the subset of the edge set of the given graph. Am I correct? I mean, this is a speciality is there. What is the speciality? This is the maximum number of independent edges we can get from the graph. I mean the maximum, I say. Maximum means the optimum optimum, the maximum number of independent edges we can get from this particular graph. I mean, we cannot add one more with this particular edge set so that they are independent of one another. Therefore, this particular set we call it as the maximum matching, we say maximum matching. But mu3 and mu1 are not maximum matching because they consist of only 2 elements, whereas mu2 consists of 3 elements, and more edges cannot be taken into that particular set. Therefore, we say it's a maximum matching. But mu1, mu3 are just a maximal, not maximum, maximal matching. Okay, now what is a perfect matching and complete matching? Perfect matching means the particular matching should consist of all the vertices in the graph. Then the particular matching we call it as perfect or complete matching. Take for example mu2. In the mu2, all the edges cover all the vertices. A vertex is there, B vertex is there, C vertex is there, F vertices are D vertices, and F vertices. All vertices are there, are covered by this particular matching, that is mu2 matching. And that type of matching we call it as perfect matching or complete matching, we say. Perfect matching or complete matching, we say. Okay, right. There's another speciality of the complete matching or perfect matching is that we can make a bipartite matching. In the case of perfect or complete matching, we can make a bipartite matching. Look at that complete or perfect matching. Mu2 is equal to AC, EF, BD. I am taking A, B, E as a one set, C, D, F as the another vertex set. Now I can make a one-to-one correspondence between these two sets. Okay, and that type of correspondence we call it as bipartite matching. Am I correct? A is connected to C, B is connected to D, and E is connected to F. For ABC is one set and C, D, F are the another vertex set. It is possible to make a connection between one vertex set and the another vertex set, only two vertex set, and this call it as a bipartite matching. So every perfect complete matching have this property in common. Okay, so this is what I do want to teach in this particular slide. Now, do I want to go to the next slide? Okay, so what about the next slide? We'll see. Wait, please. Yes, this is what the next slide about. This is an analysis going on there. So maximum maximum matching means what? The maximum number of vertices or maximum number of edges which covers all the vertices, we call it as maximum matching. That's what I told you, maximum matching. Okay, so here V1, V5 one edge, V2, V3 another edge, V4, V6 another edge. You take this particular, this is the maximum number of edges which covers all the vertices. Okay, we cannot add one more with this, so that becomes the maximum. So this is the optimum that covers all the vertices. V1 is there, V2 is there, V3 is there, V4 is there, V5 is there, V6 is there. This is called maximum matching, we say. Okay, right. Now edge matching number is alpha dash of G, we say. Edge matching number means number of elements in the maximum matching. Number of elements in the maximum matching is called edge matching number. Here edge matching number is alpha dash G. Alpha dash G. Okay, and that is what we are seeing here. So maximum matching here is V1, V5, V2, V3 and V4, V6. These three edges covers all the vertices here, V1, V2, V3, V4 and V5. Okay, that's what you have to understand. Right, this number of elements is called the edge matching number, and that is denoted by alpha dash. Another one is about the covering. Covering means what? You have to understand that. A covering means again the same thing there. The minimum number of edges which cover all the vertices. Minimum number of edges which covers all the vertices are called edge covering. Okay, so here edge covering is V2, V3, and V1, V5, and V4, V6. Minimum covering that we have this one. Now, how many elements are there? Again, 3 elements are there. This is called edge covering number. So edge covering number is equal to B dash, beta dash. So beta dash is called the edge covering number. How is that here? How many elements are there? 1, 2, 3. So we conclude that what we conclude here is that here what we talk about the edge matching number plus edge covering number must be equal to the number of vertices in the given graph. That's what the relation we are getting there. Okay, from this we are getting edge matching number, that is 3. From this we are getting edge covering number 3. If you add 3 plus 3, you are getting 6. But what is the 6? 6 is the total number of vertices in any graph. This is a wonderful discovery in the graph theory. Okay, that's what you have to understand. Now, this is about the theorem there. The theorem says that the same thing, alpha dash plus beta dash equals n. Now, part 1, that is, this we can prove by 2 methods. N is greater than or equal to alpha dash plus beta dash. That is equation number 1. Then next we are going to prove that alpha dash plus beta dash is greater than or equal to n. Then it is equal to prove that alpha dash plus beta dash equals n. Now n is greater than or equal to alpha dash plus beta dash. This is what we are going to prove now. Let m be the maximum matching in G. If it is a maximum matching, definitely the absolute value of m must be equal to alpha dash. Now I am assuming that V be the set of m saturated vertices in G. V is a set of m unsaturated vertices in G. Now let F be the set of edges in V such that each vertex has 1 edges. Okay, each vertex has 1 edges. So in that case, definitely m, what is m? The m is the maximum matching. Union of the m obtained by this way for m saturated. Okay, it is a covering. So m union f must to be a covering here. Okay, right. Therefore, absolute value or modulus value of m union f is equal to modulus value of m union modulus value of f is equal to alpha dash plus n minus 2 alpha dash. So definitely this must be greater than or equal to b dash, because b dash is the number of covering, which implies n must be greater than or equal to alpha dash plus beta dash. This is equation number 1. Okay, this is equation number 1. Now next one is part 2. Let L be minimum edge covering, which implies definitely absolute value of L would be equal to beta dash. If MH is unsaturated edge covering, then we definitely have the absolute value of L minus m of H is greater than or equal to n minus 2m of H. So definitely this implies greater than or equal to n. So from 1 and 2 we can prove the result. So thus we can prove the result given. Thank you very much for listening to me for the past 15 minutes. Thank you.